Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. We are getting ready to do our first quarter reset. I know it's so cliche to say, but for real, I don't know how the past 3 months have gone by quite so fast. There's a lot I want to do in this video, so we're probably just going to do this over a few days. Tonight's going to be more of a self-care reflection kind of night. It's just me this evening, so it'll be nice to kind of get some of those things out of the way while it's nice and quiet at home. And then I want to do some decluttering, spring cleaning, and then I also want to set goals for the next quarter. So I'm super excited, especially for tonight, because last month I did my self-care night right before I did my monthly reset, and I really liked that. I liked being able to just kind of take some time for myself, but also to just be able to think and reflect and have a mental break right before the next month started. So that's really what I want to do tonight. So hopefully you can do this with me. The first thing we're gonna have to do is make a fun coffee. I saw a little recipe on Pinterest that I want to try just with the stuff I have. I don't know if it'll be any good, and it's not going to be exactly the same because I'm using just iced coffee, not espresso shots, but we'll have to try it. And I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, you'll have to ignore my crazy ugly house this evening, because tomorrow is when I am hopefully going to get a lot of cleaning done. Ordinarily, I would prefer to have everything clean and nice so that have a clearer headspace, but since it's just me tonight, I think I want to do that now, and then we'll get some things cleaned up tomorrow. So just ignore the mess. We'll get that all taken care of. I'm just being super real with you guys. So I'm gonna make my coffee. I would love it if you make a coffee or a tea and just join me in my little self-care evening. So the recipe that I saw on Pinterest was just a tablespoon of maple syrup, a tablespoon of honey, and then some salt. So I'm gonna put all of that in here with some milk and then mix it, and then I'll just pour it over my coffee. I was honestly slightly worried it wasn't going to be sweet enough because the honey was sticking a little bit, so that was fun. But I actually really like it. I feel like it's just sweet enough without being too sweet. Okay, there's a lot I want to do tonight, and we'll see if I end up having time for it all. First thing I want to do is cook dinner. I didn't really prep lunches for the week, so I figured I'd just go ahead and cook a little bit so that I can have the leftovers for lunches. So I'm very basic. My favorite go-to meal right now is just grilled chicken, roasted broccoli, and roasted sweet potato. I put in a grocery order and they were out of sweet potato, so I got butternut squash. So we'll see how it tastes, but that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on that, and then we'll see what I want to fit in while that's cooking. It is already 8:30. I don't know how that happened, but I finished my dinner and just watched a little YouTube video. I'm gonna do some journaling and kind of just my normal evening routine with a couple of things added, but I did want to show you guys something real quick. So for Employee Appreciation Day, my coworker got me a sourdough starter kit. We talk all the time at work about just wanting to make all the bread and do all the homemaking things. And so she got me that, and so obviously had to actually start one. So I started it yesterday. I have no idea if this is what it's supposed to look like, but here's what we're working with. So I'm about to discard half of it and add some more to it. I don't even know why I'm showing you guys this either, because honestly, I don't even know what all this is. I guess I'm just documenting this for later, but it came with several things. Got a lot of different silicone things. I literally, I don't know. Like, I don't know what I expected when it said starter kit, but like, holy cow. I've got all kinds of stuff in here. One of these, that's gonna be fun. I swear. I'm also very excited because the recipe that I got for the starter, the same lady has like a whole bunch of like discard recipes. So I'm like, I feel like I'm gonna have to make like a discard recipe every single day also. I really wanna make some naan bread. Oh yeah, so here's the other one of these. See, I'm gonna have to like, I don't even know what all this is for, but I'm super excited to play around with all of it and get this starter done. So I thought I would just show that to you guys because by the time I'm wrapping up this video, the starter should be about ready to go. So who knows, if I'm feeling it or I've got time, I might have to bake some bread in this video. We'll see. Anyway, so I'm gonna do this real quick and then I kind of start winding down. I finished getting the starter ready. Hopefully I did it right because it seems like it's a little bit more full than it should be, but we'll see. I went ahead and changed into some girly pajamas. My evening routine's gonna look pretty much the same. I am just gonna go ahead and get my makeup off and wash my face and brush my teeth and all that good stuff. But I did get a face mask. I used this one the last time I did a self-care night and it's really nice. I feel like most of the ones I've used before are like cloth or like that makeup remover wipe feel, but this one's more like silicone. So I really like this one, I'm excited. It's got like 2 pieces to it. It's so hard to, I'm gonna drop it. I'm hoping I can get more of a handle on my hair if I'm gonna go a good while without styling it. It is a frizzy mess right now. Anyway, I just did a good bit of journaling, which was super nice. I don't really make a habit of journaling. I probably should do it more, but in my mind, journaling is like writing about my day every day. So I have a little bit of a mental block against it, especially since I'm so all or nothing that if I miss a day, then I go too long without journaling anything. And then what was the point? But I'd like to get into some more like guided journaling, but with all the other habits I'm trying to establish right now, that one might have to go to the back burner a little bit. But it is nice for the sake of getting ready to reset for the next 3 months and just kind of figuring out where I'm at in terms of goals and everything. So that'll come in handy when we get to the goal planning part of this reset. And that is going to conclude the self-care part of this video. I definitely had more things I wanted to do. I had a couple more, just more girly type things, but it is almost 10 o'clock. So I need to get to sleep. My coworker and I were just talking earlier, like, why is sitting at a desk all day so exhausting and draining? Like, I know why, it's mentally exhausting, but it's just crazy. I'm like, man, my back hurts, my neck hurts, everything hurts. I'm tired. Like, I get home and I just want to crash. Like, so I do want to prioritize sleep for sure. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I definitely did. I feel like it was really helpful, and it was good to just kind of have a bit of a mental break before going into a new month, a new quarter. So yeah, I am gonna call it a night there. Tomorrow we will get into the cleaning and decluttering part of this reset. Good morning, everyone. Excuse my nasty morning voice. I was trying to give myself a little bit of time before going on camera today, but I've just been finishing up a few things that I was doing yesterday. I totally lost my mind and stopped filming yesterday, which I hate, but also I feel like I can get so much more done and focus better when I'm not trying to film while cleaning. So not that that's always going to be the case, but I feel like for this reset and everything I wanted to get done, I feel like it just made sense. I deep cleaned both bathrooms, which was really nice, down to dusting and cleaning the windows and really cleaning the showers. I even got around the base of the toilet, which is honestly my least favorite part of that. I will clean the toilet bowl 50 times before I want to mess with the base of it, which I think it's just because it gets dusty so easily and it feels like it's impossible to actually clean everything up off of there. But I've been trying out more of the electric scrubber features. So I used that for some windows yesterday. I used the corner brush to get in areas like that were hard to access. And then I of course used it for the stove and the showers. And I actually used it for some countertops yesterday too. So yeah, it wasn't too bad, but I did get pretty much all the main rooms deep cleaned. I do have some dishes that need to get done, but for the most part, the kitchen's good. I deep cleaned both bathrooms, and my husband cleaned up the bedroom and the hallways, so that was nice. We have a really clean home right now, which is really great. Okay, so moving on. Today, I do still want to get some laundry folded and put away. That's something that I still have a lot that I left for myself, but I want to take a little break and do some planning and go over my goals for the second quarter. When I did my self-care night, I did a little bit of reflection on the past couple of months. And so I've kind of looked at my goals already. I want to go in and put them into Notion and kind of come up with some action steps for each month. I'm not going to go over all of my 2025 goals in this video. If you do want to see what those were, you can go watch my 2025 reset. But I'm just going to be completely honest with you guys. I had a lot of goals for Q1 and I really accomplished none of them. And I think it was because I failed to really lay out a plan for myself. I'm feeling a lot better already about this next quarter. And also I feel like the first quarter was a lot of learning. January was very much like a restful, restorative month for us after all the craziness of the holidays and just being really busy. I feel like we got a lot of time off work. We got to go on vacation and then we went on a little weekend trip to see Hans Zimmer for his birthday. So we got to do a lot that month and it was just overall very relaxing. So February was not so much. I feel like it was kind of all right, time to get moving. You've had your rest time. Now we're hitting the ground running. And during that month too, I just felt very led to stay at the job I'm at, which was hard as well, because if you've been here for a little bit, you probably know that for sure toward the beginning of the year, I was hoping to start looking for another job, and I will not be doing that for the foreseeable future. That is something that I have temporarily taken off my 2025 goals. Right now, I'm just praying and trying to be faithful where I'm planted. So yeah, with all of that, and then just being back to a full month of work, February was just harder. And there were a lot of areas that I failed in my personal goals as far as habits and things. So it was just a very hard and also mentally draining and kind of a beat myself up month. But I will say March was a whole lot better. I feel like I kind of adjusted some things and learned several things this month. And so I do feel far more equipped to go into quarter two and actually have a plan. I feel like I did a lot better with my habits this month. And I've just kind of figured out what routines actually work for me and what's sustainable for my lifestyle. So with all of that said, I'm going to kind of look over my goals and start putting them into Notion. And then I will talk with you guys about what those goals are. Okay, I've input some of my goals so they're a little easier to look at now. I need to actually go back and fix my Notion template because when I started it at the beginning of the year, I didn't exactly know where everything went. So I need to fix it so I can actually lay out action plans in there, but I also have it in my notes. So again, I won't go into depth on how my first quarter goals went just because there's not a lot there. We're going to kind of do this review and planning all at the same time. So, big goal for quarter one was to join our church, and we have finally done that. I have realized, and I know it's a thing, like if you give yourself a certain amount of time to complete a task, like you're going to use up all of that time. And guess what we did? But we did finally talk with someone at our church about what that needed to look like. We got our application turned in, so I'm so happy. So that was a win for the first quarter. I did finish one book and start reading another one, so I'm on track for the goal of 6 books this year. Honestly, I feel like I said, a lot of my goals weren't really specific enough. I had have more quality time, go on more dates, have weekly check-ins all with my husband, and then be consistent in my goals and habits. And I'm like, okay, I think I thought that I was going to follow up and really narrow these down, but I didn't. So a lot of what I've learned this first quarter is, again, what works for me. And also I feel like I really need a physical method of tracking. So I am going to print off a habit tracker here in a little bit. I just forget to put it into Notion, and I feel like it's not as satisfying a way to track as it would be to physically mark something off. Plus, I feel like it'll just be easier for me to see and access. So even if I go back and put it in my Notion template later, I feel like it'll help me stay more accountable and also be more motivated to complete all my habits. So that is something I want to do, and I want to track our weekly check-ins as well. And I want to be better about planning our dates. I feel like we did accomplish an at-home and an out date the past 3 months, but I feel like there needs to be more intentionality behind some of them. I feel like sometimes it's just ended up kind of being like any other night, which is fine. I do feel like we've done a really good job about having good quality time, but I just want to make sure we're changing things up and having new experiences together. So that's something I want to focus on as well. A lot of my goals for this past quarter, like hanging out with friends more, hanging out with siblings, planning a self-care night, things like that. I did pretty good on all of those. I didn't have a self-care night in January, but in my February reset, I talked about not really feeling like I needed it that month because so much of the month was just so restorative. But the past 2 months, I feel like I've really unlocked a hack for myself, because for me, it's been more than just like a self-care night. Like, it is fun to have time for myself and do girly things and refreshing things, but also I feel like it's been my time to kind of plan for the next month and reflect. So I have done that the past 2 months, and I feel like that's definitely gonna be an end of month ritual for me. So that's a goal, is having a self-care night each month. But for me, I feel like that goal is more so going to be trying to plan out at the beginning of the month into my calendar where those things could go, and then I'll of course track them. But long story short, I just want to make sure that I am making time for people and having quality time with loved ones. So all of those things I've already put on the calendar. Some of them are a little more loose and might need to be moved around some, but focus on hobbies more. That was a 2025 goal. I didn't really do anything with this in the first quarter, and that's really fine with me. I just didn't really make time for it, but I am excited because I signed up for Skillshare. So I want to kind of make that one of my monthly plan into my calendar things, instead of trying to focus on a hobby every week, which is I think what my original plan was. I feel like that's just too much, unfortunately. But I feel like if I can plan one time a month to do something that I enjoy doing, or to take a class on Skillshare, I feel like that'd be a good start. And hopefully I would love to see doing a Skillshare class every Sunday or something, but probably not this quarter. So that's my goal for this quarter, is to just have a monthly day to dedicate to that. Guys, this is so all over the place. I'm still figuring out how to do these goal conversations because I am such a rambler, and I feel like it's hard for me to keep everything like not only short but also like organized and make any sense at all. So bear with me here. Okay, decorate the house. I did not do that either. I'm not even gonna lie, I've a little bit been on a house buying kick, which is definitely not something that we are seriously considering right now. It's more so me dreaming. But it's gotten me really rethinking things I want to do to the house that are like renter friendly. I'd gotten on a kick of this last fall and then I really didn't do anything with it, but now I'm feeling like I really want to. So if that would be something any of you are interested in seeing videos of, let me know, because I'm really feeling like I'm gonna try to do some different things with the house this year. I say that, that requires time and money, but I think it would be fun and just make it more homey. So my goal for this coming quarter is to just slowly get things for the living room. I think I've figured out what I want. It's really just a matter of the money for it. So I'm going to spread out my goal a little bit and just buy probably a couple of things each month of this quarter. And then hopefully by the end of quarter 2, my living room will be looking a lot more homey and more my style. So that's my quarter 2 goal for that. Post consistently on YouTube. Guys, I feel like I've missed at least 1 upload a month, if not 2 sometimes. I feel like I did okay in January and March. February, did I post 1 video in February? I think that might have been it. It just gets so crazy sometimes. I'm still figuring out how to balance YouTube and a full-time job and also just being a wife and keeping up with the house and everything. So I'm going to try to give myself a little bit of wiggle room this next quarter. I want to do like 3 or 4 videos. So if I miss one, it's not the end of the world. I really want to focus on good quality videos over the amount that I get out. So I also really want to get more into YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels. So for this quarter, I want to start posting more on Instagram, but for this month, I think I just want to try to film like 1 reel a week just to kind of get used to it, see how I like it, because I've never really done any short form content. So I think it would be fun, but I'm not quite ready to start posting yet. I think I just want to try it out this month, and then we'll start slowly building up a posting schedule in the rest of quarter 2. Maintain a whole foods diet. See, and that's another thing that I feel like I need to track better somehow. I'm just not quite sure how I want to do that, because we've done pretty good overall. We do like our weekend pizza nights, and we have had a couple of homemade pizza nights and they have been so good. But yeah, I'm gonna have to think on that one a little more. I definitely still want to stay with that goal, and we're also considering doing the detox again to start this new quarter, but we'll see. I'm not sure yet. As far as vacation, we had one with his family and we'll have one with my family later this year. So we did go on vacation with his family. That was fun. And then I also wanted to plan 4 getaways for this year. So our Hans Zimmer concert weekend was one of them, and so for this quarter I do want to plan one. I'm not sure when we'll go, probably not this month because we need to plan, but probably end of May or June or something like that. We'll see. And then again, hanging out with friends more. And then I guess I mentioned like sibling dates, hanging out with friends. I feel like that has gone really well this year too. I feel like I've at least had one dedicated time each month, so I'm happy about that. Okay, that was a lot. That was definitely very rambly. It's the morning. I guess my brain's not working yet. So since I am doing this first quarter reset and not like an April reset, I'm going to go ahead and just tell y'all my April goals, and then hopefully we can keep each other accountable in our goals for this next month and also the second quarter. And this is a little more precise and condensed. So I've got that I want to track habits. I'm going to go print off a habit tracker here in a minute. So I feel like that'll be really helpful. I want to plan all those different dates, self-care, hobby day, time with friends and siblings and all of that into the calendar, which I have done. Now it'll just be doing those things. I didn't even mention this earlier. So now that we've joined a church for this quarter, we want to make sure we join a small group and start serving somewhere. So this month's goal is to start going to the newlywed class on Sundays. So start attending that group, finish Defined, and start another book, but I want to finish that one. I have some curtains that I'm looking at specifically for the living room, and then I want to get like one of the fake olive trees. So hopefully this month, hopefully we'll get those things. I want to post 3 to 4 videos and film a reel every week, and then lose 6 to 8 pounds. I really want to be more intentional with my eating habits and walking, and I feel like we've kind of set that up well this past quarter, so hopefully that goes better this month. I really need to find a better way to track it though. We'll see. Right now, again, not looking for a job, so this month I really want to focus on just being in prayer for my coworkers and also just my attitude and mindset at work. And then I want to plan a weekend getaway for this quarter. If you stayed through all that, you're a real one. But yeah, I'm looking forward to kind of showing you guys my updated routines and just really being able to focus on these narrowed down goals this month. I really do feel a lot more prepared and ready for this quarter than I did the last one. And also, I am so happy that it's like light outside now in the evenings and it's not getting dark at 5:30. Like, that really is a real thing, like the winter depression and just like feeling so unmotivated. It was so hard, like driving to work in the dark and then coming home and it being dark. Like, it just made it feel like there was no day left. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. I think I'm probably going to fold towels next, and then we'll see what else I still need to get done. I just printed off my habit tracker for April, and I'll probably do this same one for May and June. I'm really excited about it because I was having a hard time finding one that would let me put like a lot of habits in there, but I do have a couple in here also if I had a Celsius or if I had a coffee or if I bought one of those out somewhere, just so I can track kind of not my spending exactly, because we keep track of all of that in YNAB, but just so I can kind of see how often I'm having caffeine, and yeah, so but I did add a couple more things in here that I really want to implement into my routine. I feel like I'm gonna have to really just be focusing on like the first hour of my day and the last hour of my day. I want to figure out a good cleaning schedule that we'll be able to stick to, but right now especially, I really need to dedicate more time to editing in the evenings, because a lot of times it gets pushed to the weekend and then I don't have time for a lot of other things. And if we start going to church on Wednesday nights, that's gonna put us at like 3 nights in a row that stuff's going on, because I really want Tuesday to be an editing night. So I really right now want to focus on, like, again, the last hour of my day, doing a tidy up, showering, doing my skincare and reading, and that being the consistent part of every day. And then whatever else I have time for, whatever my goals are for that day, that's great. I fit it in where I can. I do still want to be walking when we get home from work, and I feel like we'll be able to keep up with that pretty consistently. But anyway, I am excited to have this printed off because I feel like it'll, again, just help make it easier to keep track of, because I don't always think to go into Notion and track things. And then also it'll kind of have me more motivated to keep checking things off. So there's that. Well guys, I think I'm gonna wrap that reset up here. As all over the places it was, I hope this has inspired you to reset for quarter two. I really feel like this quarter is gonna be good. Feel free to share some of your goals for quarter two or for April down in the comments, and let me know what some goals you achieved that you're most proud of from this past quarter are. Also, super random, I'm still in the middle of my trying to not use heat in my hair thing, and I put coconut oil in it for the first time and I'm kind of liking it right now. Anyway, that was random, but yeah, I'm really excited for what this next quarter is gonna hold. I feel like it's gonna be a good 3 months, and we're just gonna keep working on consistency and finding balance and finding ways to enjoy all the little moments, even though it can kind of seem repetitive sometimes. And I hope that you're able to do that too. Thank you so much for being here and for watching this video. If you made it this far, comment the pink flower emoji for spring, and let me know again if you guys would like to see any like renter friendly renovation type stuff. I don't know how soon I would be able to get around to it because I definitely need to like plan. I have so many things I want to do that it's like, okay, you still got to take it like a step at a time and not go crazy. But if that's something you guys would be interested in, please let me know. And again, thank you guys so much for watching. I so appreciate you guys, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.